Weeks before the mega poll fight in West Bengal, the first family of the Trinamool Congress finds itself in the eye of a storm. And in the CBI's crosshairs is the wife of Mamata Banerjee's nephew, Rujira Banerjee, who's been summoned by the investigative agency tomorrow in the illegal coal mining case. Abhishek Banerjee and the Trinamool are calling this a political witch hunt. BJP is accusing Mamata's nephew of stashing away wealth in Bangkok. Here is our lead story tonight.
The TMC BJP political war has reached Mamata's doorstep. CBI is now probing the wife and sister-in-law of Mamata's nephew, Abhishek Banerjee, in an alleged coal smuggling case. Abhishek Banerjee's wife, Rujira, is to be questioned on Tuesday, after she responded to CBI's summon, agreeing to join the probe. In her letter to CBI, Rujira requested the probe agency to visit her residence between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Tuesday to question her. It is learnt that Rujira's name cropped up during the CBI's investigation into smuggling of illegally mined coal in the state. Sources say that during the course of investigation, CBI came across material hinting alleged involvement of Rujira in the racket. Member of Parliament Abhishek Banerjee charged the centre with using intimidatory tactics ahead of elections, a claim echoed by Mamata.
দিল্লির কোন নেতা বাঙালিদের মেরুদণ্ড কি করে ভেঙে দিতে হয় আমরা জানি। আমি বলি আসুন না একটু চেষ্টা করে দেখুন না। অনেকবার তো ভেঙে দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করেছেন, আজও করছেন। আপনাদের ধমকানি চমকানি আর জেল টেল দেখি প্লিজ আমাদের ভয় দেখাবেন না। আমাদের মেরুদণ্ড ভেঙে দেওয়া অত সহজ নয়।
A team of CBI also visited the residence of TMC MP Abhishek Banerjee's sister-in-law, Mamata Gambhir. Two women officers of the CBI examined Gambhir in the alleged coal smuggling case.
Now BJP is left with no allies. Akali Dal has left, other people have left. So their only allies are CBI and ED.
BJP, on the other hand, accused Rujira of stashing illegal wealth in her bank account in Bangkok.
स्मगलिंग, सैंड स्मगलिंग, स्टोन स्मगलिंग और गाय तस्करी, गाय का तस्करी, इस सभी में तोलाबाज भाईपो और उसकी एसोसिएट सब जुड़ा हुआ है। पूरा के पूरा सबूत लेकर तो सीबीआई काम कर रहा है। सबूत तो सबका हाथ में घूम रहा है।
The CBI summons just before the 2021 elections in West Bengal have raised a lot of questions, specifically when the BJP's major plank in the campaign has been against the alleged corruption activities in the Trinamool Congress government in West Bengal. With Munish Pandey from Delhi and Paulomi Saha, this is Suryagni Roy for India Today, Kolkata.
Prime Minister Modi was in Hooghly, where he launched a scathing attack at the Mamata Banerjee government. Speaking in Bengal, the Prime Minister pitched for Parivartan, saying that the people of Bengal were tired of the injustice being done to them. What's interesting is that in just a few days from now, Mamata Banerjee will also hold a rally at the same place. The battle for Bengal is only set to escalate.
Vande! 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 Vande!
With the Vande Mataram war cry, Prime Minister Modi rode in battleground Bengal, taking the fight over Bengali icons to the next level. This time, the Prime Minister accused Mamata Banerjee of insulting Banking Chand Chatterjee.
Vande Mataram Bhavan, जहां बंकिम चंद्र जी 5 साल रहे, कहते हैं कि वो तो बहुत बुरी हालत में है। वंदे मातरम सिर्फ इन 2 शब्दों ने गुलामी की निराशा में जी रहे देश को नई चेतना से भर दिया था। ऐसे अमर गान की रचना करने वाले के स्थान को न संभाल पाना बंगाल के गौरव के साथ बहुत बड़ा अन्याय है।
Next came the declaration of Parivartan for Bengal in Bengali.
आज पश्चिम बंगाल के कोने कोने से आवाज आ रही है, আর নয় আসল পরিবর্তন চাই আমরা আসল পরিবর্তন চাই
The Prime Minister then went on to mock Mamata and her party over their campaign slogan, Bengal ki beti.
टीएमसी सरकार को गरीब की पश्चिम बंगाल की बहनों बेटियों की जरा भी परवाह नहीं है दोस्तों। क्या जो पानी के लिए तरस रही है वो बंगाल की बेटी है कि नहीं है? वो बंगाल की बेटी है कि नहीं है? बंगाल की बेटी को पानी मिलना चाहिए कि नहीं मिलना चाहिए? बंगाल की बेटी के साथ अन्याय करने वाले लोग क्या उनको माफ किया जा सकता है?
In just a few days, Mamata Banerjee will be back in Hooghly, the same place where Prime Minister Modi launched a blistering attack on her. Be sure that she will return the fire.
Here at this very ground inside the Dunlop factory campus in Hooghly district, which has remained shut for last several years, Prime Minister Narendra Modi found the perfect venue to deliver his message for industrialized West Bengal. Hitting out at the Mamata Banerjee government over its failure to bring in industry and jobs for the youth, the Prime Minister said it was time to bring in Ashol Poriborton, or real change in the state, and therefore the need to bring out a BJP government. With camera person Tapas Baidi, Indrajit for India Today in Hooghly.
All eyes at this moment in Bengal are on Rujira Narula Banerjee, Abhishek Banerjee's wife, who's been summoned by the CBI tomorrow. Rujira is not new to controversies. Her Thai citizenship has been raked up time and again by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Born in Thailand, she lived and grew up in West Delhi's Rajouri Garden. Rujira met Abhishek Banerjee while they were at the IIPM Management Institute and had gone on an international study trip. Here's what we know about Rujira and her relationship with Abhishek Banerjee.
Rujira Narula Banerjee is set to face the CBI. But this isn't the first time that the wife of the Trinamool's number 2 is in trouble. Born in Bangkok, Rujira still has a Thai passport. But in government documents, she calls herself Indian. She found herself embroiled in a big controversy 2 years ago when customs officials wanted to search her baggage, citing detection of a significant amount of gold in X-ray images. The Calcutta High Court granted Rujira relief from the customs notice, observing that she is a Thai national holding an overseas Indian card. The case is still in courts. The Home Ministry had also issued a notice to Rujira in 2019 for obtaining a PAN card without mentioning her nationality. The notice also pointed out discrepancies in Rujira's father's name on different instances. While Rujira's father's name on her PIO card that was issued in 2010 is Dr. Nifon Narula, her OCI card made in 2017 states her father's name as Gursharan Singh Ahuja. Rujira, a Sikh, lived in West Delhi's Rajouri Garden. Her father had a cell phone shop at Gafar Market, which was quite popular. Rujira's father shifted to Bangkok later and started working in real estate. Sources in the family say they had a connection with Bangkok earlier as well, as Rujira was born there and that she came to Delhi only later. Rujira and Abhishek married in 2012 in a gala ceremony in Delhi, months after Mamata took over as Chief Minister of Bengal. The two were classmates at the Delhi Management Institute, where love blossomed. The two came closer on an academic tour to Switzerland in the first year. The couple went on to have a daughter and a son. While Abhishek Banerjee soon established his clout in Trinamool circles, Rujira largely kept herself in the shadows and away from politics. But that was before politics got up with the Trinamool's first family. Bureau Report, India Today.
The Trinamool is calling this a witch hunt against Abhishek Banerjee and his wife, coming as it does just days ahead of polls being announced. The BJP is saying the CBI is just doing its job, and if Rujira has questions she needs to answer about her involvement in an alleged coal smuggling racket and more, including charges about being involved in the coal mining case, then why dodge those questions? Joining us on the Newstrack on whether this is an absolute bona fide investigation or does it seem to be a witch hunt, I want to introduce first Dr. Shantanu Sen was with us at the India Today conclave in Kolkata is a Rajya Sabha member of Parliament and a spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress. With us also for the first time on the Newstrack is Sukanta Mazumdar, Lok Sabha member of Parliament, spokesperson for the BJP in Bengal. Shantanu Sen, we've got two Shantanus on the show, both Shantanu Sens. This Shantanu Sen is a former Joint Director, highly respected officer of the Central Bureau of Investigation. Last but not least, Jayanto Ghoshal joins us. He's part of our election team for West Bengal. I want to go across first to Dr. Shantanu Sen, the Trinamool spokesperson, and get his sense of why he believes that the CBI's investigation is a witch hunt, because the CBI hasn't spoken for itself, but the BJP says the CBI is just doing its job, and if Rujira Narula has questions, she must answer. She must do so as any other citizen would before a law enforcement agency. Dr. Shantanu Sen.
See, just see the chronology, and I wonder whether it's a chronology or it's a coincidence. On 22nd of this month, that is this February, the second most powerful person of self-claimed biggest political party of the world has been summoned by court. And just prior to that, the second most important person of All India Trinamool Congress, who has issued or who has lodged this defamation case against the second most powerful person of the country, his wife has been accused. Yes, we heard long days back that CBI is nothing but a caged parrot. And now, people of India, they have started believing that when all the allies of Bharatiya Janata Party have started leaving their main organization, main leaders, BJP, which has become Bharatiya Jumla Party by now, they are left with two or three most loyal allies, like that cage, so-called caged parrot, that is CBI, of which the officials have been found fighting amongst themselves, this ED and few other government agencies. And we have seen in previous days how these government agencies have been utilized by this present BJP party so shamelessly. And if I can cite some examples, one person who was the rail minister made by Trinamool Congress, when he joined BJP, we know the result of CBI probe against him.
Okay, so hold your horses. You've set the context for this debate. Sukanta Mazumdar, the Trinamool Congress is calling this a tit-for-tat action, that Amit Shah was summoned by a city court in a case that Abhishek Banerjee had filed, and therefore now you've set the investigating agencies on Abhishek Banerjee's wife, that this is vendetta, it's not a bona fide investigation. Sukanta Mazumdar.
So according to the logic, what should CBI do? CBI should not do any kind of investigation. Few days ago, our leader, Shubhendu Adhikari, he exposed such transaction which has taken place in Thailand. And this accused woman, I don't want to take her name, so accused woman should be left behind, and CBI should not do any kind of investigation. So CBI is doing its duty, and it is nothing to do with the Amit Shah's summons. Amit Shah ji will face his summon according to the course of law, and we don't fear to be in front of any course of law. But why Trinamool Congress is so afraid of? If he or she is free of any guilt, then there should not be no fear. Just face the CBI. Even Mukulda, after joining the BJP, he has faced CBI. So what is the worry? Why they are fearing? If I am a clean man or a woman, I should not have any fear to face CBI or any kind of inquiry.
Okay. Dr. Shantanu Sen wants to make a quick counter before I go across to the other two guests. if Rujira Narula has done no wrong, why be so apprehensive? Just face the law.
Small question.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to ask one very simple question. If I deposit some money in my bank, how can you get the paper in your hand? How can that person get the, how that person got the paper of this deposit paper of that particular bank? And even yesterday we have heard Kailash Vijay Burgaji saying we are having many other documents in our hand. If I deposit money in one particular bank where I am having my account, how you are getting that particular paper in your hand? Just tell me. Is it not utilizing your power? Misutilizing your power? Is it not misutilizing the government agencies?
No, but how did Kailash Vijayvargiya get it? Shantanu Sen, that's the question. That's the question that Shantanu Sen is asking you, Sukanta Mazumdar. How do these BJP leaders know what Rujira Narula or anybody else is doing in their private accounts?
No. First tell me, these things are always available with media persons. Some media person may get this type of documents from, we don't know from where they are getting the documents. But if this is the question, then that question should be directed towards the bank authority, not to us.
No, media person didn't show the paper. Media person didn't show the paper. One political leader of your party has shown this paper before media.
Media person,
one political leader of your party has shown this paper before media. It's not the media person who has shown this paper.
Media person don't have the guts to show the paper in West Bengal because there is no democracy. Let the MCC come.
Oh, so that's why media persons has handed over the paper to you. Media persons are afraid of Bharatiya Janata Party. You can well understand how the scenario is with PTI.
Okay. You know, I can't have both guests speaking over each other. I cannot let this debate degenerate to the standard of a banana republic. We will try and make sense, not noise. And I want to go across now to Shantanu Sen from the Central Bureau of Investigation. Mr. Sen, you know, this interest that the CBI shows in this case comes at a time when assembly election dates are just about to be announced, that Abhishek Banerjee's rallies are drawing huge crowds, his road shows are drawing crowds, and he in some ways has been in the crosshairs of the BJP's attack against Mamata Banerjee and her government. Just on cue, the Central Bureau of Investigation starts now going and questioning Rujira, who's Abhishek Banerjee's wife, showing up at her home unannounced. Does this timing seem to you to be odd?
Well, it would look odd, but it could be a coincidence. After all, the case was registered in November 2020. And of course, in that case, Rujira Banerjee or Abhishek Banerjee were not named as accused. It was a case of pilfering and stealing of coal from the leasehold lands of the Eastern Coalfield. And the accused were the kingpin, Lala, and there were several officers of the Eastern Coalfield, general manager, even the director of security. They were all named as accused, and some unknown officers of the security force and the railway protection force were named as accused. CBI was investigating a case of pilferage and theft of coal from November 2020, and during that investigation, CBI has come to know that a lot of money has been, what I've heard from the media and from other reports, has been transferred to Mrs. Banerjee's account. And I believe the CBI wants to ask about this because this money has gone from Lala, the kingpin of the smuggling racket in the Eastern Coalfield. And the CBI is just going to ask Mrs. Banerjee about this money. That is what I have seen in papers. It has nothing to do with her own monies being transferred or foreign exchange racket. And if you will see, the investigation is just about 5 to 6 months old. And it is natural that after this much of investigation, this may come to light. because they were never named as an accused and there was no investigation currently going against them. So this matter, this information can come to light after some time of investigation. Had they been named as accused,
let me put that question to Jayanta Ghoshal. Shantanu Sen from the CBI makes the point that this isn't necessarily a witch hunt because it's not as if the CBI started looking for them. The Eastern Coalfield coal mining scam came to light. That's how the police and the CBI started probing it. That's how the CBI found bank account details, which they believe are linked to Abhishek Banerjee's wife, which is why this case is being probed. And if she's done no wrong, she has nothing to fear and she'll have answers for why the money came in her account. Respond. What do you make of the investigation so far, Jayanta Ghoshal?
Yeah, Rahul, what Mr. Shantanu Sen has said, I respect his argument and I know him personally also. He's a very honest CBI officer we found in our country. But one thing I want to tell you, Rahul, yesterday what happened, how we have come to know. The source of information, it has come from CBI, but there is no press statement because investigation is just started, it is on, so there is no conclusive evidence. So it is a understood story. As a journalist, we are very happy to get the inputs from the CBI and cameramen rush to the spot as we are informed that the CBI officials are coming. So before that, there is everything is it's like a script. So there is a apprehension of the political parties in Bengal that it is not only TMC, the left and Congress also, they are also saying that the CBI always, they do it. In fact, I remember in 2014, CBI was Congress Bureau of Investigation as BJP used to say. And Narendra Modi ji, Amit Shah ji, they were also victim of lot of investigations and court actually relieved Mr. Shah. He was in jail for some time. So, but you know, what has started, there are two aspects. One is investigation and CBI should do the proper inquiry. But, and Mrs. Banerjee also going to help tomorrow to appear and she will talk. But what I am very apprehensive on the other aspect of politics, that without any proper evidence, can I say that Abhishek Banerjee chor hai? Is it a standard of political campaign?
Okay.
Because
let Shantanu Sen from the CBI respond to that, Mr. Sen. Jayanta makes an important point that when the CBI raid happens, cameras are available on queue. Now that's great for the journalists who got there, but surely on a Sunday afternoon, if somebody is landing up knowing that a CBI team is coming, it would only happen if there's a tip-off from the CBI. So Jayanta's charge is it part of a orchestrated script that's playing itself out, where the CBI is trying to help its alliance partner, which in this case happens to be the ruling government at the center? Shantanu Sen from the CBI.
That act of the CBI in giving publicity to this case must be condemned unreservedly. It is very wrong of the CBI to do this. There is something known as the confidentiality of investigation. This has been repeated over and over again by the Supreme Court. And giving publicity to this action is condemnable, and I condemn it unreservedly.
Okay, but that's where Sukanta Mazumdar needs to come in, because the former CBI Joint Director says this is wrong, yet clearly it happened. When the CBI team showed up, there were journalists who'd been told on cue that there would be a CBI team coming to investigate Mrs. Banerjee. The charge leveled by the Trinamool Congress is that the CBI is acting as your alliance partner. The Akalis have left you, the Shiv Sena has left you. Now you've got the CBI and the ED to try and help you out. How do you respond to that, Sakunta Mazumdar?
No, this is so if CBI has informed the media or not, we don't know. We don't have any such proof. Before commenting on the integrity of the CBI, we should have any proof that whether CBI has informed the media or media got news from any other sources.
So what other source can there be? If there is a raid on a Sunday afternoon and you're told that this is where the raid will be, what other source can there be, Mr. Mazumdar?
So, Rahul ji, you are a senior journalist. Even I have seen the party meeting details. Okay, they also come out after the meeting from our party meeting. So you know what are the sources. I am not the right person to comment on how the information came to the reporters and the news channels. But if the reporters are present, they will be able to say that whether they have been informed by the CBI or some other sources. So that I am not the right person. I would like to say that. But the point is, should we discuss about how the papers come to the BJP leaders, or how the media got the information, or whether we should concentrate on the inquiry, how this much of rupees. So if the papers are with the BJP leaders, I don't know whether it has come from media or not, probably that. So we should concentrate on whether any crime has taken place or not. So if somebody theft anything, so who is guilty?
Okay.
The thief is guilty, or whether
So I want to show you some excerpts from the India Today conclave, which is the only time when West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and also BJP's former president and current Home Minister Amit Shah actually responded to these charges around nepotism, around corruption, around the charges against Abhishek Banerjee. Let's listen to what the Trinamool leader had to say.
आपके जितने भी भाई हैं बहन हैं हमेशा अपने पॉलिटिक्स से दूर रखा और आप जिस
दूर में है तो एक आदमी अगर आएगा तो क्या है नरेंद्र मोदी का परिवार को हर आदमी को देखो तो किधर किधर में है हम डेटा दे दो हम देता नहीं है कि हम जेंटल है इसके लिए लेकिन कभी कभी जरूरत पड़ेगा तो दे देगा तो क्या अमित शाह का लड़का क्रिकेट में नहीं गया एक फिल्म स्टार का लड़का लड़की अगर फिल्म स्टार होता है तो क्या दिक्कत है दिक्कत क्या है दिक्कत क्या होता है इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट का बेटा अगर इंडस्ट्री नहीं चलाएगा तो कौन चलाएगा एक आध आदमी आने का कोई खराब नहीं होता है अगर आप सबको ले आओगे एक परिवार में को तो वो जो लिया उसमें तो हर परिवार का 18 मेंबर्स सर तो पहले तो उसको संभालने दो हमको पूछने का पहले एक आया ओनली हमारा परिवार से हर लोग ग्रासरूट में काम करते हैं लेकिन एमएलए एमपी कभी बनता नहीं है अरे तो डायरेक्टली इलेक्टेड होके आया एक आदमी आया तो उसका ऐतराज क्या है अपन लड़का को भी अच्छा पोजीशन में भेज दिया सबसे ज्यादा ऊंचा पोजीशन में कैसे आ गया क्या कंट्रीब्यूशन है
तो बार बार हर इलेक्शन स्पीच में वो इस इशू को उठाते हैं आप
हम क्या करेगा अमित शाह का लड़का भी मेरे को भतीजा है तो अब हम क्या चाचा भतीजा का बात कहे ना अमित शाह को हम भैया बोलता है भैया भतीजा का बात करें तो वो भी मेरे को भतीजा होता है तो क्या करें हम भतीजा का बात करके बाहर में क्यों गंदा करें ये तो कर्सी नहीं है पॉलिटिकल कर्सी नहीं है हम कभी करते नहीं है
जब सोनार बांग्ला की बात आपसे करते हैं और आप एक रूपरेखा उसमें लेकर आते हैं तो बंगाल की तुलना क्या हम करें कि आप गुजरात से बेहतर इसको करके दिखाना चाहते हैं?
मैं तो
पंजाब से बेहतर करके दिखाना चाहते हैं?
ऐसा है, मैं तो मानता हूं कि देश के छोटे से छोटे राज्य से लेकर बड़े के बड़े राज्य के बीच में एक स्वस्थ और तंदुरुस्त स्पर्धा होनी चाहिए आगे बढ़ने की। हर राज्य ने प्रयास करना चाहिए नंबर 1 पर पहुंचने का, बंगाल ने भी करना चाहिए, तभी तो भारत आगे पहुंचेगा। सभी लोग एक हेल्दी कंपटीशन से आगे बढ़ने का प्रयास करेंगे तो आगे, मगर आगे कैसे बढ़ेंगे? यहाँ पर 3 चीजें हुई है ममता दीदी के शासन के अंदर। यहाँ पर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का टोटली पॉलिटिसाइज किया गया एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को। यहाँ पर पॉलिटिक्स का क्रिमिनलाइजेशन हो चुका है और यहाँ पर करप्शन को इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज किया गया है। ये तीनों चीजों के रहते हुए मैं नहीं मानता कि बंगाल इस स्पर्धा में तेजी से आगे बढ़ सकता है। ये तीनों चीजें ऐसी है जो किसी भी राज्य को आगे बढ़ने के लिए रोड़ा है और रोकने वाले बहुत बड़े फैक्टर्स हैं।
अब आप गुजरात मॉडल नहीं दिखाते कि गुजरात मॉडल है और ऐसा हम आपको बना के देंगे आगे आने वाले दिनों में अगर हमारी सरकार आएगी?
नहीं, बंगाल स्वतः ही एक मॉडल था, पास्ट में स्वतः ही एक मॉडल था, बड़ा गौरवप्रद इतिहास रहा है। हम वहां पर भी पहुंचा पाए भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग तो हमें बहुत संतुष्टि होगी और मुझे भरोसा है कि वो रास्ते पर हम जरूर चढ़ पड़ेंगे, द्रुत गति से चढ़ेंगे, तेजी से चलेंगे।
You know, when I was in Kolkata recently, the one thing that I did pick up, Dr. Shantanu Sen, is that even within the Trinamool, there was a sense of apprehension around the coal scam charges. Now, the CBI is going all out to probe this case. You can say what you want about the politics that you believe is playing itself out, but if Lala, and he's the mastermind of this coal pilfering scam, his transactions with top Trinamool leaders emerge, then that puts the Trinamool on a very sticky wicket on that one issue which the Prime Minister, the Home Minister are raising most often, and the issue of corruption. This will bite where it hurts, Dr. Shantanu Sen.
See, first of all, I want to, with all humility, I want to remind you one very small thing, that coal mines are all under coal ministry. That comes under union government, not under state government, number one. Number two, the credentials of CBI has been questioned by the people of India long back, when they have seen the CBI officials, CBI number one, number two, they have been quarreling amongst themselves. And number three, you are talking about corruption. Our respected Prime Minister and Home Minister, they are coming to Bengal almost like a daily passengers just because of Bengal election, and they are talking about corruption, and they are taking the name of Abhishek Banerjee like Bhaipo, 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 Bhaipo. It proves how much scared they are of Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee. And so far the question of corruption comes. My humble question before our Honorable Prime Minister, why your PM Care Fund is not getting audited, where the government money has been put in huge amount? People of India is desperate to know why that PM Care Fund is not getting
I'm out of time. Sukanta Mazumdar, quick counter on the points made by Dr. Shantanu Sen, questioning not just about the PM Cares Fund, but also the fact that this seems to suggest that you want to attack Abhishek Banerjee because your real aim is to try and pin down or gun down Mamata Banerjee, his boss. Final word, Sukanta Mazumdar.
See, this is the condition of TMC. I would like to request Dr. Shantanu Sen that everything about the PM Cares has been explained by our Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharamanji during the last session. Okay, and the her speech are available, so that Dr. Shantanu Sen should get listen to it. And the next thing is that in every area of, when in my concept, if at this time if you go, there will be a big queue of trucks in border. I have one international border. His name is Healy. You just go now. You send your representative. You will get a big queue of trucks, almost 15 to 16 kilometers long. Why? Because the TMC leaders, local leaders, they are maintaining that
to take care of these borders. Who is supposed to take care of these borders? It is BSF. And BSF comes under your government.
No, sir, please.
BSF comes under your government.
The police
you are digging your own responsible. My dear. You are digging your own pond. Who is supposed to protect the borders? It's your BSF. It's the fault of your government, my dear. You are digging your own pond.
I am giving the information, sir. Please have patience to listen. That there is a parking which is run by the government of West Bengal, and some TMC leaders they are taking 2,500 or 3,000 rupees per truck, and they are maintaining the queue. Which truck will go fast? Which one will get? Which one will go later? Even at this moment, if you can send your representative,
who is
you
Madam
will be
Pamela Ghosh? Who is Madam Pamela Ghosh? Your youth office bearer, who is accused of who was carrying cocaine, who was caught carrying cocaine. Madam Pamela Ghosh, your youth office bearer of the state youth BJP General Secretary Pamela Ghosh. He was caught red-handed carrying cocaine.
So as you can see, the election is really heating up in West Bengal, and this back and forth will continue. There will be charges, there will be counter charges. The key to my mind is whether or not this allegation of there being direct transfers from the bank account of Lala to the bank account of Abhishek Banerjee's wife can be proven. If yes, then they have something to answer for. If not, then the points that Jayanto and Dr. Shantanu Sen make about this being a witch hunt will more likely be seen as being true. But you'll see a lot of this as this election campaign heats up. For the time being, Dr. Shantanu Sen from the Trinamool Congress, Dr. Shantanu Sen from the CBI, Jayanto Ghoshal and Sukanta Mazumdar for joining me on the Newstrack. Thank you very much. We're slipping into a break. When we come back,